Okay guys, RC Kiddo 71 here, and I'm finally finished with my Mamba Monster Rustler build. And just real quickly, I need to say thank you to a bunch of people. The first person that I ever saw do one of these cars was Draven3907, so I want to say thank you to him. Shout out to John Racer X because he's been a huge help to me. I've totally inundated him with questions, and he's always right there to answer them for me. Steve Racer 100 for his videos, which have inspired me. Geo Stealth R1, Mr. Mustang, or Mr. MRT Mustang 1, Boneyard Inc., Bulldog Matt 22. And there's a few others out there I probably forgot, but anyways, pretty much anybody that's running this type of a setup, I've pulled ideas from, and I just want to say thank you to everybody. And my good buddy Eric Campos at ericcampos.com, he's a killer photographer, and he's also one of my RC buddies, and he's been helping me out. So go check him out at ericcampos.com. Okay, last but not least, I just real quickly want to give a plug to the guys at rcspeedjunkies.com. I just recently learned about them. I bought some parts from them, and their delivery was super fast. And a couple of the guys from there have been really a big help to me. Anyways, so I just want to give you guys an update and show you what my car looks like. This is the finished product, which I'm really happy with. I painted this a few days ago and cut the body out and painted it myself, which was a first for me. And I did it in the silver, which I really like, and put some stickers on there. So I mounted a Garmin Fortrex 301 inside the window there. I haven't actually run this car yet. That was from when I ran my Stampede outside, but anyways, I want to pull the top off and show you guys what it looks like on the inside. To start out with, I did the T-bone bumper on the front like Mr. MRT Mustang 1 did. I also did the T-bone bumper in the back, and I'm hoping that works out really well. We'll see. I may end up having to do something a little different there to protect the motor, as Kevin EM82 pointed out to me. Anyways, so let's pull this off. So inside here, I got, first of all, I went with the Integy aluminum bulkhead. My custom black tie bar in the front, which I showed in a video how I did that. I also went with the Integy aluminum gearbox in the back, the 2200 kV Castle Creations motor. I also installed a fan. I don't know if that's totally necessary, but I guess it'll help cool down when the car's not running, or it should help it cool down. Let's see here. I went with the Kyosho GRP rims, which these tires are really sweet. I love these things. I've run them several times on my other Rustler, another set that I have, and I got this idea from John Racer X, who I saw running them on there, and it took me a long time to figure out that that's what those were, but I finally did figure it out, and then shortly after that, I started communicating with John Racer X, so that's really cool. Anyhow, here's the Mamba Monster ESC. I did install a Castle Creations 10 amp BEC, and I wired that up, and I don't want to undo everything, but basically my wires run across the top of the bulkhead over to the other side. They also go into the ESC, and then they come over here and go into the receiver box. I went with the big bore shocks, and all the way around, and I used a 3/4 inch fuel tubing to put on the inside. I think that idea came from Mr. MRT Mustang 1. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'm almost positive that's where I got that idea from. And I used 3/4 of an inch, so this baby is slammed to the ground. You'll see that here in a minute. I'll show you that. Let's see, I went with the 34 tooth Integy spur gear, and I have that sucker wrenched all the way down. I use this right now. I'm running a I haven't run it yet, but I have on here a 25 tooth Mod 1 pinion gear, and I also have a 30 and a 34, but I'm going to start out with the 25 just so that I can get good at controlling the car, because I'm a little bit intimidated by this by this thing, but it's going to be fun. Let's see here. I drilled out a hole through the shock tower in the back so that my wires could run through here, and I wrapped this cord around here. I got this idea from John Racer X. Actually, I bought the stuff and brought it home, and then when I was looking at his videos, I saw that he had the same stuff on there, so I kind of stole that idea from him, I suppose. Let's see, what else here. I did put on the MIP CVD Drive Shafts, and there's a whole story behind those suckers, but they're hard to get, and they're changing the connector for the 17mm hex adapters on here, so beware of that, because those axles out on the end, they're doing away with those holes, and they're changing that. So I kind of hit a roadblock there. That set me back about 4 or 5 days. But I got those hooked up. I tightened them all down with the red Loctite like you're supposed to. And out here on the ends, I got the MIP 17mm adapters. So those are slick. I went with a little different battery setup than I've seen most people doing. This is a Max Amps battery, and I'm sorry I'm wobbling around here. This is a Max Amps battery. It's a 5450 MAH 22.2 volt 120C. This thing's a beast, and I had to really modify out the battery tray so that it would fit. I JB welded a metal plate into the base of it. Then I put Velcro on top of the base, Velcro onto the battery, push that guy down in there. I put these straps underneath the metal strap so it wraps around and holds this thing in there really good. These are EC5 adapters, I think they're called. I hope that's right, EC5 adapters. And obviously it's not plugged in right now, but it does work. This right here is the GD4 Drift Pro gyro, and you can see underneath it's mounted on top of the old ESC mount, which I had to cut basically down to 1/3 the size so that it would fit in here with the battery, and I could put the Drift Pro on there. I'm really happy with the way that came out. I'm pretty picky about all my wiring. This is just a piece of foam I stuck down in there to hold some wires in. On the front, I already talked about the Garmin. Let me pull that out real quick and show you something underneath there. I got these weights from John Racer X. He basically donated them to me. I paid for shipping and he sent them to me, but these things are super sweet. They're custom made. I was going to paint them black, but then I kind of the gold color kind of grew on me, so I left them there. Basically, those are just placed down on top of the upper chassis with heavy-duty sticky tape, and they're not going anywhere. They weigh a little over 1/2 pound a piece. So I think I have 1.25 pounds or so on the front, along with the aluminum bulkhead there to help add the extra weight. Now, I also replaced the shock tower with, both shock towers with RPM. I did the caster blocks in RPM, the bearing carriers in RPM front and back. I did leave the stock A-arms, which I may end up changing at some point, but these are actually pretty decent. I've never had a problem with them, so I'm leaving those in there for now. let's see, what's another thing that I wanted to mention? Talked about the wheels. I actually went and got myself a set of ceramic bearings, and I replaced all of the bearings on the stock Rustler with the ceramic bearings that I bought. And I just have to say that they make a huge difference in the evenness and the quality of the spin of the wheels. So I don't know. I don't know if it's going to make that big of a difference, but it sure does smooth out the spin, and the wheels spin a lot longer. So just a thought for you. Might be a unnecessary extra expense, but that's what I did. So, oh, I did put a high-tech servo inside there. I don't know if you can see that or not. Let me try to go around to the other side, but I did put the high torque, high-tech servo on, and there you go, you can maybe see that, with the Kimbrough servo saver. And that thing is really super nice. This servo, when it runs and you hear it going back and forth, really makes a big difference. I mean, that thing, I'm hoping is going to last and do a good job. So yeah, I think one of the other things I did, which I made a video about, is I dyed the chassis black. I took this whole thing apart. Anything that was gray, I stuck inside a bucket of dye, left it there for 8 hours, and it dyed out really, really nice. Boy, I know there's something else I'm forgetting, but I think I got most of it for the most part. What I may do now is just turn the video off for a second, plug this guy in, and turn the ESC on and all of that. So hang on and I'll be back in a second. Okay, so I have it plugged back in, and you can hear the fan, the motor fan running. I think you can hear that. I took that mount that came with the Castle Creations thing, and I modified it, took the legs off of it and all that stuff, so that it didn't have any posts coming down, and I basically glued it on top of the ESC. That way I could put the power switch here on top of the ESC over here next to my BEC. So now wiring up the BEC was actually super easy. I just followed the directions. I pulled the power cord out to the ESC in here to disable the internal BEC, since I was running an external BEC, and it's good to go. So you hear that beeping, it's ready, and you can see my gyro is on. It's looking good, and I have it turned way down right now, so I don't know if you can tell, but it is self-correcting, and I'm just going to have to kind of get used to, you know, how that thing runs and dial in the gain on that a bit. But you know, I think all in all it turned out pretty good for my first attempt, and I'm going to go ahead and stick the body on it so that you can see basically how low this thing is to the ground, because it really rides low with that modification that I made to the shocks. Again, sorry for the shaking video, but so there it is, guys, and I'm really, really happy with it. You can see that, I mean, pretty much it is slammed to the ground. I hope it's not too low, but I guess I'll figure that out soon enough. It's just about the right height that you could slide an iPhone underneath it. Literally, my iPhone barely fits underneath there. So anyhow, I think that that's it. I'm sure that when I'm done, I'll think of something that I forgot, but anyhow, I hope you like it. Please let me know what you think. I put a lot of work into this thing, and I'm interested to know what people think. It took me, it took me almost 2 months to build. I started in the first week of June, and here we are almost the last week of July. So, again, I gotta say thank you to everybody that's running this application, and an extra big thank you to John Racer X for all of his help. And the next video that you guys are gonna see should be with me doing a speed run, and I'm gonna take it really easy at first because I do not want to crash this thing, but I'm thinking that it won't be long before you see a video where I'm doing 100 miles an hour. At least that's the goal. So, thanks for watching, and I will be back with you sometime soon. Thanks, guys.